Hi everybody, my name is Grax Bishop, welcome to my stream, and today is another episode of What's Going On Grax, the sort of monthly episodic series where I talk about me, talk about Grax Bishop. How you all doing? I'm very well, thank you very much. And this is going to be a bit of a quick one actually, because my last What's Going On Grax episode, which was episode 7, was 2 weeks ago. And the thing is, I can't really say a great deal has happened in the past 2 weeks or so. I mean, stuff has actually happened. But I just want to warn you now that today is going to be a bit of a shorter episode of What's Going On Grax. Everybody doing okay in the chat? Yeah? Good. So, without further ado, let's get on with what's been going on. So, Grax, what's been going on in your life? Well, one of the first things that's been going on is I did some baking. That's right, I did some baking, and I baked some profiteroles. Well, actually, big shoe buns are about this big. And you might be thinking, but Grax Bishop, you've done this before. Why is this big news? I'll tell you why this is big news. It's because for the past month or so, I've been trying really hard to get the recipe right. I mentioned it in my streaming of me cooking shoe pastries, which I'll link in the description either up here or up there or in the description down below. Basically, I lost the original recipe book after the breakup of my previous relationship, and I was trying to look online to see if there is a recipe that could recreate it. And I tried all these different things. I couldn't find it, but in the end, I managed to buy the original book from the 1980s. And I tried it out. I tried it out on the stream last weekend, I think, or the weekend before that. And it was a bit of a disaster because it ended up turning into chocolate creamy Yorkshire puddings. It was weird. I don't know what happened at the time. I don't know what happened. I suspected that it was a bit too runny, a bit too liquidy because of the excess eggs. But rather than raising up into a bit of a ball, it sort of raised up in a bit of a dip, much like a Yorkshire pudding. And it didn't really work out how I wanted it to work out, which is a bit of a shame. It tasted fine. It tasted absolutely fine. A little bit on the crumbly side, but it was still okay. But it was a bit of an adventure. However, after I figured it out, I managed to recreate the recipe again on the Thursday before the Macmillan coffee morning, which was Friday the 27th of September. And they came out perfectly. Couldn't ask for a better shoe pastry experience because it turns out, you know what, enough eggs. Too many eggs makes it too watery, not enough flour, and I've managed to figure it out. And I've memorized this recipe. So in the future, I will be able to make shoe pastries perfectly. Says the final words there. So that's one of the things that's been going on. By the way, I'm drinking a nice Cabernet Sauvignon for tonight's streaming action. What are you all drinking out there? Put it in the chat down below. Or to the left or to the... Oh, wow, I'm just looking at myself on the big screen and I look a mess. Look at all these fucking spots. Like I've not been looking after myself at all. Oh, man. Anyway, so what else has been going on? Well, the big thing that's been happening in October right now is a little event, a little something that's called a Vlogtober. That's it, Vlog 2019 Vlogtober. And I was reminded about this from the lovely Tom MAYHEW because he wanted to start it off. And slowly but surely, he managed to get various people to join in the whole Vlogtober antics. Pixel Ramen says butts to you too. How you doing? You doing well? I noticed that you're going to be streaming later on tonight with you're going to be doing a stream around, was it 8 p.m. EST time or 9 p.m. EST time? But put it in the description. Let us know what you're going to be streaming later on. So yeah, Vlogtober. For those who don't know what Vlogtober is, the idea is for every day of October, you create a vlog of some kind, of any kind. Video content every day for the month of October. 31 videos is the idea. And I've done it before in the past, which is back in 2014, I believe it was. I'll put a link up there or down there with a playlist. But this year, I'm not planning to do it. I'm not going to be doing Vlogtober this year, and you can tell because we're currently on the 6th of October and I've got no content. No Vlogtober content because, well, three things. One, I'm going to be going to China in 2 weekends' time, 2 weeks' time. And the thing is, I won't be able to produce content on a daily basis, and I certainly would not be able to post it on a daily basis. So that's me counting it out. Two, I don't really have any major content to provide everybody. I don't really have anything to say. This is a problem I've had before. And so I decided to step out of this. However, that's not stopping other people doing Vlogtober. And three, I'm just a coward. I am just a great big coward who does not want to go through the process of trying to create content on a frequent basis this year. That's not to say I'm not going to do it in the future. But this year I thought I'd take a step back and come up with a decent idea, which actually I do have an idea for next year. Watch this space. But in the meantime, that doesn't mean you can't join in the Vlogtober antics, because there have been other people taking part in Vlogtober. And I've been watching them along as well. The people who I've been watching for Vlogtober are Tom MAYHEW, of course. Tom MAYHEW, the one who started this whole idea this year. He is a well-known comedian in the United Kingdom, well-known within the Twitterverse. He's done a fantastic show up in Edinburgh, the Edinburgh Fringe this year, and he wants to challenge himself to create content on a daily basis. So Tom MAYHEW, he's going to be vlogging every day. And so far he's talked about himself, he's talked about other people, he's talked about his tattoo, which I genuinely did not know he had a tattoo. And he's going to be talking about editing, perhaps, the 18% podcast, which is a podcast he created about the working class comedian and interviewing them. So, Tom, I look forward to that next episode, which I think is episode 7, I think it is. There's 2 other people who I've never heard of, but who's joined in, and now I'm starting to watch their content. One of them is Mike Marshall, who I believe I've seen him going around the Twitterverse, but I've never actually seen his face before, and I've never seen his video content. And so far, he's done like he's done a review of the RuPaul Drag Racing UK edition again, and he's talked about himself, and he's invested in some new equipment for a really good vlogging experience, which is interesting. Another one is Lamb's Take. There's a girl called Lamb's. Oh, I forgot her surname. Sorry, this is really embarrassing. But yeah, I've never seen her before, and apparently she's got like a tremendous amount of back catalogue of videos, which is rather interesting. And so I've been going through her daily vlogs, of course, every day. Right now she's talking about her suitcase, except she didn't talk about her suitcase because she got distracted. But I'm more intrigued about her previous back catalogue. I think she's got about at least 60 videos for me to go through, which is cool. And here's the thing. John Dredge, one half of Dredgeland, is also taking part in Vlogtober. Although, even though he's not putting it onto YouTube, he's been creating 10-second videos on Twitter. If you go to his Twitter account, @JohnDredge, you'll be watching him doing 10-second videos every day. And frankly, I think they're pretty on point and pretty entertaining for what they are. And I think he's captured the spirit of Vlogtober very, very well. So ultimately, these are the people I've been watching on Vlogtober. I'll put all the links down below and up here to be able to, so that you can figure out exactly what these people are. And go watch them, give them some support, follow them, subscribe to them, all that kind of stuff, and give them ideas for content to create for Vlogtober. I know Tom MAYHEW is going to be creating a Q&A live stream in the near future, and he has a Curious Cat page to ask him questions. So that's that. What's the last thing? Like I said, there's not been very much going on right now in my life, and but the big thing I'm going to be saying right now for my channel, for my Twitch channel, for my streaming channel is I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to take a break from the weekly streaming content for my Twitch channel. And as sad as news as that sounds, there's some reasons for that. And one of the reasons why is because, one, I'm going to go to China. I've mentioned that a couple of times before, but I'm going to go to China in a couple of weekends' time, or a couple of weeks' time. And thus, that's 3 weeks where I'm not going to be creating content. That's 3 weeks where I'm not going to be streaming on Sundays. So that's one reason why I'm stopping and going on a break. Two, the thing is, I've actually starting to ramp up my creepypasta narration stuff. I've actually begun work on it. Not only have I done those demos, I've also recorded a story, and I've been fishing's the wrong word, actually sending out emails and messages to the various authors that I want to read. I want to read these stories, and I want to get their written permission for being able to read these stories. And I have been collecting permissions. Right now I have about 25 permissions for 25 different stories, which is good. That gives me about 3 months worth of content. But if I want to keep going for about a year, I need more permissions and I need more stories. So I want to focus my attention on these stories. Over and over 88. Yo, handsome, did you miss me? Of course I miss you. You know, you weren't here at the very start. PDT was here before you were. That's, wow, that's just, you were missed. Isn't that right, guys? You missed Viv, didn't you? People say in the chat how much you missed Viv. So, yeah. The thing is, I want to take a break from streaming so I can now focus on actually creating these videos for the creepypasta narrations and setting up a channel, blah, blah, blah. And that takes time and effort. And the third reason why I'm not going to be taking a break from streaming for a while is because, well, I'm kind of losing the momentum to actually stream on Twitch. I feel like I just want to play games for the sake of playing games, you know, just relax and not necessarily having to be on. I've been streaming these games on a more or less weekly basis for a while, and I just want to take a break and sit back and relax and enjoy playing games until the future where I can go back into streaming again on a weekly basis. Once all this creepypasta stuff is actually set up, and once it's set up, once the button's been pushed, once this machine is creating content and publishing content on a weekly basis, so I can just focus on setting up this channel, making it a success, and then I'll get back onto streaming in the future. So I'm thinking take a couple of months off. Take a couple of months off of streaming on a Sunday. Don't worry, I'll still do these monthly vlogs and Q&A sessions, because for me, that's for me. Creating these vlogs on a monthly basis to keep you all up to date is for me. And I can see in the chat that people are just figuring out whether they miss Viv, and the answer is yes. So yeah, these vlogs are for me, and I like to tell you what I've been doing and having you ask me questions to answer. So I want to keep doing that on a monthly basis for me and to keep you all up to date. But streaming on a weekly basis, I'm taking a break from that. And I predict that I'll get back into it sometime in the new year, around January or February time. Like I said, October, November, that's pretty much written off because, well, I'll be in China. And then November to December, that's ramping up to Christmas and sorting out all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the bottom line is I'm taking a break on a weekly basis. I'll change my schedule on my Twitch channel and make it like a once a month thing. And the thing is, if there's something interesting that comes up, I might jump on, but there won't be a schedule. Not until next year, early next year. And I will announce when that will happen. And I hope you all understand. The reason you can't see PDT, Viv, is because he's on YouTube right now. He's on YouTube and not on Twitch, which is interesting. Which is fair enough. Like I said, I'm restreaming, getting onto multiple channels at once, and PDT's decided to be on YouTube. Cool. So yeah, I hope you understand, and I hope that after this break, I'll get back full of energy, and there'll be lots of interesting games for me to play on a weekly basis again. And thank you for being understanding. Can we still have a game stream for Christmas RG meetup? Michael Bell says, oh, of course we can. Yeah, no problem. That would be good. That would be like the exception to the rule in terms of weekly content. That's just like a one-off. That's something fun. You've been kind enough to invite me and Andy to your place, I hope, and we could do something fun there. But weekly basis, taking a bit of a break. Thank you. With that being said, normally what I would do is at this point, I would do a Q&A session where you've all asked me questions and I would answer them. The thing is, right, I've not actually got many questions. I checked on my curiouscat.me/GraxBishop page and I've only got 2 questions to answer. And I want to save those for when I get a big chunk of questions. It's a big chunk of questions to do it in like a decent half an hour episode. So I'm going to save this for another time. However, we can't end tonight's stream just with this half an hour of content, nearly half an hour content. I think we should play a game. I think I should play a game. And there's one game that I wanted to play right now, which was inspired by Miko. On Miko's channel, which I believe is youtube.com/pixelramen, she played this game called I Love You, Colonel Sanders. And I believe she played it all the way through. And I started watching her video and I saw once that intro sequence played, I was thinking, oh, I've got to give this a try. So I stopped myself because I want to be playing this game cold. I want to play this game cold. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to set everything up so it's playing I Love You, Colonel Sanders. It's a free game on Steam. I Love You, Colonel Sanders. Play that all the way through. It's a visual novel of the love life of the Colonel Sanders. It's done in a really ridiculous visual novel, romantic kind of thing, and it just looks great. And plus it'll give me an opportunity to do different voices. Just a little bit of fun. So with that being said, Untitled Goose Game on PDT says, I've only seen little clips of that, and I will watch you do it, PDT, but I've heard nothing but good things about that game, about that being a silly game about being an asshole goose. So I will play that at some point in the future. But for now, I'm going to call this episode of What's Going On Grax to an end. Thank you very, very much for watching this episode, and I hope you all stick around.